You're listening to Access Abundance, growing richer in business and spirit, and this is episode 1. My name is Noah, and I'm a mindset and a content coach, and you can find me on Instagram at Noah Crawford CEO.
My name is Liz, and I am a business and mindset mentor. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about me and what I do, you can find me on Instagram at The Pizza Hippie. So I just want to talk about the framework for today's episode and what we're going to talk about. So, number 1, why did we start this podcast and who it's for? How Noah and I connected, and a little bit more about each of our backgrounds. Then we'll briefly talk about mindset and the 3 things that we live by and the importance of personal branding. And we're also going to announce the release of something that we've been working on to help you show up consistently on social media. So let's get to it. Why did we start this podcast? Both of us are passionate about being an entrepreneur and a creator, and the freedom to write your own schedule is just amazing. So we both happen to be going through a rebranding period, so this felt like the perfect time to start something new. So with this, we look forward to learning from each other, learning from our listeners, and also helping as many people as we can by sharing our knowledge of self-development, business growth, connection to everything that ever was, is, or will be, but actually the connection between self-care and soul nourishment and how that directly reflects onto your business. And I also just want to touch a little bit on spirituality. And my favorite thing about spirituality is that there are no rules. So yes, there's a lot of different modalities to deepen your spiritual practice, such as yoga, breath work, plant medicine, and so on. But no one else is in charge of your direct spiritual experience and connection. So the way that you express love and creation is completely yours, and you do not need permission from anyone to embrace your spiritual nature.
Awesome. Yeah. So who is this podcast for? I believe it's going to be for aspiring and experienced entrepreneurs who are seeking to grow themselves and to grow their income. And I feel like it's also going to be for people who feel like they have a purpose in this life and they know they're meant for something greater, but maybe they don't have that environment to support their growth. So we want to give them something to listen to on a consistent basis that helps them align themselves with their higher self. So.
All right. So how did we meet? In 2020, I had been looking for a videographer when I was starting to get into virtual fitness. And I was like teaching fitness, I was editing videos, I was doing all the things, and I was like, I can be a video editor, but like that's really not what I'm looking to do. So I found Noah on Instagram just by using hashtags. I think it was like, I don't know, Raleigh videographer or something like that. Something basic. And I just fell in love with his content. He obviously, rap music videos are nowhere near the scope of work that I needed at the time, but I could clearly tell that he was passionate about what he was doing, so I booked the call. And I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into when he agreed to work for me. As we all know, people were going through a lot at this time, so I was really trying to do my best to make my workout videos engaging and silly for some comedic relief. So I had him filming my bar workouts for me in my basement, like wearing a Jane Fonda onesie and leg warmers. Yeah,
it was a bit weird.
So that's where it all started on my end. So to you, Noah, how did you transition from filming rap videos to where you're at now, and like where do you see yourself going?
Yeah, so I got to take you back a little bit to where I started so that you see like the mindset and the journey and everything. But so after I graduated high school 5 years ago, I had started creating music videos for rappers. And I had always had this like entrepreneurial drive. So once I discovered that there was this market of music artists who were trying to build their own brands, I just went all in, and over time I began to produce bigger and better music videos. There was only one change in my business that took me from making like $1,000 a month to $10,000 a month, and all that really was I began to post every single day on Instagram, and there was a strategy behind it, of course, but that was essentially it. So I had a lot of success at a young age, and I had gotten to a point where I was making extremely good money, but I was just severely overworking myself. And I began to fall out of love with creating music videos. And I really thought I needed to work as much as possible to feel worthy. Those are some of like the beliefs I had instilled in me as a kid. And overall, I just wasn't feeling fulfilled, even when I had made as much as like 15K in a month as a young 20-year-old guy. It didn't feel real at all. So in 2020, I started my coaching journey. I began to teach other creators, videographers, and music video directors how to grow their own business more effectively. And that was my new challenge at the time, and it felt extremely good to hear about my students getting paid more for their hard work, especially since creative people often feel like they can't ask for what they truly want. So for the past 3 months, I've been developing this program that helps filmmakers land consistent 4-figure video clients. And I'm happy to say that I'll be accepting applications for new students in October 2022. And I have realized that developing an unbreakable mindset and creating social media content is something that comes naturally to me. So I want to continue into the future by teaching people how to develop their own mindset to become unstoppable and give them all the tools to easily create social media content that will grow their personal brand and their income. But enough about me. Like, why are you transitioning from fitness to where you're at now, and why is this more exciting?
Ooh, okay. It's a loaded question. I like it. So I'm not completely leaving fitness behind. I am just shifting my relationship with it. And so I want to share a little bit more about my background and how I got into fitness, because I feel like my story resonates with a lot of people, and it sort of like humanizes me a little bit more, takes me off of this pedestal.
Yeah.
Always got to do that.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind for the listeners here that this is like a super quick version of my story and background here. So in 2015 and 2016, I went through a major weight loss journey of my own, and I had lost just over 130 pounds in less than 2 years. So before I began working in the fitness industry, I did go to school just because, like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
So I have a bachelor's degree in business management, and at that point, I was just hopping from job to job because the office life was so unfulfilling, and I just kept thinking, like, I was going to find what I needed at a different place. And I was under the false impression that just because you were studying business that you had to, like, dress up all businessy and sit behind a desk all day. And so I couldn't be further from wrong with that. So during my weight loss journey, I was still working those jobs, and I was taking a lot of fitness classes. And then I finally fell in love with group fitness, and there was a certain point where I decided I want to get paid to do this instead of paying to do that, and that's when I transitioned full-time into fitness. So fast forward to where I'm at now, 2020 really changed the game for fitness. I believe for the better. For one thing, it has created space for people to just slow down. And secondly, it's helped open people up to exploring an alternative approach to heal your body outside of just exercise and nutrition. So right now, I am still teaching some group fitness classes in person as well as some virtual offerings, but it's no longer my main gig. And so the reason I'm transitioning into business and mindset mentorship is because I have always been an entrepreneur. I was selling things as a little kid at school,
Yeah.
And, like, I started my first business, like, my real business, like the tie-dye and stuff, when I was 15. So I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been a creator, and it's extremely fulfilling to me to help others who also have that motivation and drive to take the leap and start their own business. And over the last couple years, I have continued to deepen my spiritual journey and do a lot of the hard inner work that a lot of people avoid. And so with this, I have gained a much deeper understanding of unconscious patterns and how that's what causes people to respond in ways that are incongruent with their true self, because they're operating from survival mode. So I believe that mindset work, nervous system regulation, and emotional regulation are the keys to success. And if you aren't looking into these things or practicing these things, everything else in your life will fall apart. It sounds so cliche, but you can't pour from an empty cup is so true. So at the moment, I am taking one-on-one clients who are looking to expand their communication skills, set better boundaries, streamline their business processes, and just overall feel more fulfilled in their day-to-day life. And I'm also in the process of creating some programs and masterminds that I will be releasing in the near future. So with all that, I want to know what being an entrepreneur means to you.
So I believe being an entrepreneur means that you live to serve others and help them solve problems or reach a specific goal. You don't have to be rich yet or have $1 million business yet to be an entrepreneur. Now I can't even say the word right. So as a kid, my first sign of having this entrepreneurial spirit, I used to create these like little drawings of sharks, and I would color them with color pencil, and I would sell them to my dad's friends for like dimes and nickels. And even then I was an entrepreneur, whether they bought it out of pity or not. But so I believe it takes bravery, persistence, and creativity. There's so many more easier paths in life, but being an entrepreneur is being the true captain of your own life. So
I love that.
Yeah, thank you. So we're going to touch a little bit about mindset. Let's talk about something that most schools fail to teach, and that's having the mindset to live up to your highest potential. And as a creative entrepreneur, you have zero ceiling on the amount of money you can make and the amount of people you can serve. But there's a catch to that, right? You're the only one responsible for your journey and the decisions you make. So that being said, without the right mindset, your business tactics don't matter because you are the lifeblood of your business, and it is a direct reflection of the person you are in the present moment. And it would not be a stretch to say that everything you do to yourself, you are essentially doing to your business. So Liz, Pizza Hippie, I'm very curious, what are 3 things you live by that have to do with mindset or how you operate? I want to know.
Okay. I could talk about this all day.
Okay.
3 things. Okay. I think just like being in that fitness space, I would say that taking care of yourself is definitely the number one. So health is the biggest form of wealth. It's not just about eating healthy and exercising. There's so much more to it than that. So you want to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And I think for someone just kind of getting started into this mindset and self-development work, a good place to start is just taking note of like what drains you and what energizes you. So even just like making a list of like things that don't feel so good in your body, like what makes you tired, what makes you feel like shit, like, and then what makes you feel good, like what makes you feel on top of the world. So just like checking in with yourself and seeing what you need, like fulfilling your needs, like reaching out. And
no one else is going to do that for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's no savior coming.
No.
Like it's all you, it's on you.
Yeah.
And I think that brings me into the second one. So finding a good support system, like finding someone who is going to hold you accountable. You want people in your life who are going to provide you with relentless support, but also are not afraid to challenge you. So people who are able to consciously listen to you without projecting their own shit onto you. And like people who can also respect your boundaries and just not take everything you say personally. So find those people. They do exist. They're out there.
Yeah.
Like, again, taking accountability of like what you got going on in your life and what you can let go of. And sometimes that's people too, and that's okay. The last thing is just living in the present moment, releasing your expectations just behind any situation. So releasing your expectations of an outcome of a situation, of how you think someone's going to act around you during something, like just letting that go And this sounds so cliche, but for the longest time, I lived in such a wounded masculine energy state where I was just doing, and planning and filling up every moment of space with things to do. And as soon as I took my foot off the gas, like, I began to welcome in more abundance, happiness, and peace in my life. So, I mean, just as a side note here, like, for example, living in the present moment. Like, if you go to the grocery store and, I don't know, you look at that lettuce and it's all of a sudden it brings tears to your eyes, like, just let it go. Like, let that shit out. Like, whatever. Like, no one cares about you as much as you think they do. Like, that's all in your head.
After, like, 2 seconds, they're done.
Yeah.
They're thinking about themselves.
Yeah, they're thinking about themselves. They're going through that same thing that you got going on in your own life. So, and then another, I feel like, more realistic example for our listeners here is, like, as a creator, is just stepping outside of that creation space for a minute and just, like, notice everything out there that's being created for you to enjoy. So you don't always have to be in that creation space. Like, you do need to find that time to enjoy your life. So just, like, stepping outside, seeing the sunshine, touching the grass, like, taking a moment to come back into your body and just breathe. Like, knowing that everything out here is meant for you and things are always looking up. So
love that.
Yeah.
I usually run around in my bare feet in my front yard.
Yes, we love the grounding.
Yeah.
Always. If you have the opportunity, go outside, take your shoes off.
If you haven't in your life walked on grass on your bare feet, go do it.
Yes, pause right now. Pause. Go outside.
Come back later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I gotta know.
Okay.
What are your 3 things to live by?
All right, I'm excited. 3 things that I live by. Number 1, when I win the morning, I win the day. And I didn't come up with that. I wish I did. But for me, I win my morning by serving myself before I serve anyone else. So it's not the exact same every day. You know, I don't have this routine that I follow all the time, but this usually looks like drinking a tall glass of water, or like going to the gym within the first half hour waking up, or even going on YouTube and finding like a 10-minute guided meditation and just listening to it, or educating myself, like reading 10 pages or like watching a course. Afterwards, after I serve myself, like, I feel extremely satisfied with my progress, and that momentum just carries me to complete everything else I need to do, which involves working on my business and serving other people.
Yeah, getting that good dopamine.
Yeah.
None of that trash.
So actually, I used to wake up and serve other people first. Like, I would wake up, check my phone, I'd have clients text me like, hey, where is this at? Where is this at? And I was just immediately stressing myself out in the morning, and it was just like, that's not something where you want to get out of bed after that. You're like,
no, you're tired before you even get going.
Yeah, fuck that, honestly. So so that's number 1. Number 2, I just really adopted this mindset recently, but man, it's done wonders already, and I've told so many more people about it. Make your goal the activities you do every day and not the result or the money. So let me explain. I can only control my own actions, right? I can't control how much money I make. I can't control what people are going to say or how they feel. So if I have done everything I set out to do that day, then I am like extremely satisfied with myself and fulfilled. And finding that joy in the work I do always allows me to show up consistently. Like, when I used to focus entirely on the money, then after I had a really good month, then I would immediately like kick my feet up, be satisfied with myself, and think, okay, I earned a break, I did it, boom. But that following month, it would just result in a very poor performance. Like, I wouldn't do what I had to do. I thought I was on top of the world. I was like, fuck it, I don't have to do anything else. But yeah, so that resulted in a poor performance. And since the money dried up, the next month I would be fearful of not having enough. And I would have to grind extra hard the next month and work myself to burnout. So I literally look back. Yeah.
That cycle.
Dude.
Will never end if you don't end it yourself.
Right. And I literally saw this because I looked back at it. I was doing my taxes at the end of the year, and I was tracking my profit for each month. And I noticed one month I had made like 11,000. I was like, wow, good for me. And then next month I made $900. I was like, what the hell? So that wasn't fun. So yeah, that's number 2. Lastly, if you're only gonna ask for 3, I believe that my thoughts make me. So I try my best to catch myself anytime like I have a negative thought inside my mind, whether that's like, oh, who's gonna buy this thing I come out with, or man, I haven't really done much today, or yeah, just anything like that, honestly. So I have learned that you will eventually become what you think, because your thoughts are going to shape your actions, your beliefs, and who you become. So when I'm thinking of something negative, I don't always catch myself right away. Not perfect, not better than anyone, but I try to immediately like think to myself, like express some sort of gratitude, whether it's just me thinking like, hey, thank you for this life, or just thank you for the ground, or some basic shit. Thank you for my hands, right? It sounds corny, but when I do this, it allows me to make any day a good day. And the funny thing is, like every time I don't even have to say it out loud, but it works better if you say it out loud.
Yeah, affirm.
Right. Thank you. But every time I do that, I actually have an opportunity that lands on my lap the same day. So why would I not continue to do it?
Yeah. No.
So
I was just reading something recently. I think the number was like you have like 6,000 thoughts a day, and like I'm pretty sure like 80 to 85% of them like are either like negative or just like useless. So like you guys are doing the hard work every day, just battling your own mind. So before you even get out of bed, like there is work to be done. But like you're so right, like mindset about everything, that gratitude, just bringing it in every day.
Yeah,
it really brings in the best.
And it's crazy too, because with gratitude, it's the same feeling. Like if you're dead broke or if you're a millionaire, like when you feel grateful, it's the same feeling. Yeah. So like you can feel that shit now, even if you're not rich yet.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was like, whoa, game changer. Like why am I waiting until I make the money to be happy? Like
why am I creating my own misery? Why am I swirling down the drain for nothing? Like,
swirling down.
Yeah, like you put yourself in that position, like, and it's sometimes it's hard to get out of that, but you gotta like reality check. Like you do have good things in your life. Like check in with yourself again. Like
if you're listening to this podcast, you got good things in your life.
Yeah.
If you could access this, like you probably got a phone, like that's it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We could go deep.
Yeah. That's another episode. But yeah, so let's talk about the importance of personal branding. And this kind of seems like out of the blue versus what we've been talking about, but you'll see how we're going to relate this to growing your business. So if you don't already know this, whether you have a personal brand or not, and that can literally just be like an Instagram page with your face on it, your personal brand is so much more valuable than you think. So for me, in just a few years, I was able to begin making like 100K plus a year at like 20, 21. And yeah, I had the skills. I invested thousands into cameras and hella time into learning how to shoot rap videos and energy and all this random stuff. But if I didn't make a single post, I would not have the business I have today or the audience. And so the internet has really only been around for like 30 years. And already, like, I think the number is 4.7 billion people use social media for about, on average, 2.5 hours a day. Like, I just looked this up this morning.
Yeah.
That's insane. So, like, even if you can grab someone's attention for, like, just a fraction of that, like, 2.5 hours, then you have the chance and the opportunity to, entertain them, teach them, make an impact, and therefore make a profit with yourself, depending on, like, if you sell something or if you have a service, whatever it is. And I have people today who message me saying that they've been following me for 5 years and they're ready to work with me finally. So posting on social media may sometimes feel like spinning your wheels for no reason. You might not be seeing a difference. You might not even make any money within the first year or so, but the thing is, you literally never know who's watching. Like, I've had the weirdest, like, celebrities hit me up. Like, I never worked for them for some reason. It never worked out, but, like, I had, like, a couple vlogger hit me up. Like, what was it? Charles and Alyssa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, just random people like that is wild.
Listen, I mean, I had a famous twerker reach out to me and like asked me to do a routine to her song that she wrote. So
Oh, no way.
Lexi Pantera. Yeah, so
Okay.
she DM'd me like just because I was shaking my booty on the internet. So
Thank you, Lexi. So I also believe too many people just don't think as long term as they should be thinking. So imagine, right? You began to post a day for 10 years, right? Now, creating a post a day, maybe you can't even do that today, but just go with me.
I'm with you.
Okay, because I'm going to help you out with that, and you'll see. But wow, 10 years, you will have a personal brand so fucking massive, an audience who knows you inside and out, just waiting for the next thing you're going to post, and you'll have the ability to honestly sell anything. Like, and at that point, you'll have people asking you, like, hey, yo, how did you blow up overnight? And the reason I was able to transition from being a music video director to becoming a coach without too much resistance is because I had already been working on my personal brand for 5 years. And I have people who follow me and who trust me to deliver what I promise. Plus, there are just people who follow me who just want to support me no matter what I do, just because they like me for me. Like, you know, even though I shot rap videos for 5 years, like there's probably so many individuals who have nothing to do with rap that just like are waiting for me to come out with some shit that they would hop on.
Me.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just an amazing feeling to know that as long as I can be myself, I will thrive, and it just takes a lot of pressure off myself versus like trying to show up and be perfect and be fake.
Yeah.
Which is like not it.
When you're trying to be someone for someone else, like it's not going to end well for you. Like, maybe you could do that for a period of time, but eventually you're going to get tired, you're going to get burned out, you're going to feel unfulfilled. So,
yeah.
I love the personal brand, and that's honestly what connected me to you anyway. So,
yeah.
That's...
random ass post.
Yeah.
Just touring a fucking Airbnb I rented, didn't even tell the host I was shooting a rap video. I just had my phone, I showed what was going on, and then... you were just like, yep, that's the post.
I loved it. It was, I don't know what you were doing. It was just like some romance scene or something. Like, I don't even know if I actually watched the rap video. Like, I think I gotta check them out. I saw that you were like trying to make it romantic and sexy. And so you had like the rose petals around the bed.
Oh yeah, we gonna make it sexy.
And I love that you got like the TV dinner to make it, you know, look like they had a really nice dinner going on. And then you didn't have to like spend any time on that either. So like you were thinking outside the box, and like that's the kind of person that I want to like spend my time and energy with, like someone who isn't this or that, like and so your personal brand is definitely, it's there, it exists,
it does exist.
It's
Thank
there.
you.
We love it. All right, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
I know you've been posting and you've been hyping people up about something coming out on your birthday next Friday, the 23rd. So shout out, guys. Remember that date.
Yep. 9/23.
Are you able to share a little bit more about what this thing is and how I can get my hands on it?
Yes. So I've been labeling it a big surprise just to get people hyped up. And Leia, let's get into it. So, for anyone who has struggled with creating content and posting every day, this is for you. Whether you just don't know what to put out or maybe it's just too much work for you. So, what I'm putting out is you're going to be able to learn. Now, I don't know if this is the official title because, like, you know, I don't know if it sounds right just yet. But you're going to be able to learn the 7 steps to creating fast and easy content. And this is going to be available to you as an ebook. So you can pull it up on your phone, look at it wherever you're at. You can... We'll keep that in. But it's going to be available as an ebook. So if you're trying to like market a product or a service online, what I've learned is like the one thing you can do that'll make everything else easier is dropping consistent content that people enjoy. Right? So when I began posting every day, I literally made 10 times more money. And I could not believe what I was seeing. And this is like the most affordable product I've ever released. Usually if you want to work with me, you got to spend like a couple $1,000s for a video. Mm-hmm. So I know people are like waiting for like, damn, Noah, like how can I work with you and not like, you know,
This man knows his worth. We
Yeah.
love it.
So, thank you. I appreciate it. So, since I'm turning 23, you will be able to pre-order this ebook on Friday, September 23rd, for only $23. So, 23, 23, 23. Remember that. All right, so if you missed the pre-order, then the price is going to go up at least to $30. So why would you pay more, right? Just do yourself a favor. Ask Siri to set a reminder for the 23rd so you can pre-order. And Liz and I have poured all of our experiences into this ebook. We are overwhelmed with excitement to put this out and to help people for like literally pocket change. So literally, let's just
get
go.
it.
Just
get it.
Wait, what are you gonna do with that? Go to Chipotle? Like, come on, let's make some money. Like, so, yeah, let's close it out. That's episode 1. So if you know anyone who could benefit from listening to this show, please share this with them. It takes like 2 seconds. Send them a message, tag them in a post, take a screenshot, share it to your story. We want to put out as much value to people as possible, so your recommendations go a long way to helping other people. Like if you could take a second and hit share and that person gets helped and they help 10 other people, like would you change the world by pressing one button? You know, come on here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. But yeah, so with the ebook coming out, like I said, you can follow me on Instagram at Noah Crawford CEO or
the Pizza Hippie.
her too. We're both coming out with it, so you'll be able to find it either of our pages. I'm sure people might enjoy typing Pizza Hippie more than yeah.
I got that fun element sprinkled in.
Yeah. Nice. So that was episode 1, Access Abundance, here to help you grow richer in business and spirit. And we won't see you next time, but I guess we'll talk to you next time. Boom.
Thank you.